Hey everybody, it's Stan aka Vimlossus, and we are doing another review for Exclucollective.com, and today we are taking a look at the Elite Praetorian Guards. Now today's a special day, it's a bonus. Not only are we taking a look at one, we're taking a look at two of them. We will be taking a look at the Black Series Elite Praetorian Guard and the S.H.Figuarts Guard. Now I know the head sculpts aren't the same on these, but I figured this will give us a good comparison of the two figures. So we'll get them out of the box, we'll take a look at them, we'll go over things like the sculpting, the paint, the articulation, the price point, and an overall, and see which one comes out on top. I'm hoping the Black Series can keep up with the S.H.Figuarts on this one, but we'll have to see. Alright, let's get them out of the box. Alright, and here they are, all out of the box and looking pretty damn cool, if I must say so myself. Now, none of us have seen the movie, so we obviously don't know what kind of guards these are. Are they like the royal guards that we saw before, you know, where they just kind of stood around and protected? Or are these going to be mean, badass fighting guards that just go all out? Now, judging by the weapons and the accessories that we got with the S.H.Figuarts version, man, I'm hoping that's the case because they look like they got some cool ass weapons that I want to see in action. But either way, quick glance at them. Side by side, you can't really tell which one is which. The detail and the sculpting on these is pretty good for both versions, both the Black Series and the Figuarts. So that's a good sign, right? That means Hasbro is definitely stepping their game up, which as of late they have been. So let's go in and let's take a better look at them. You know, like I said, we'll go over the sculpting, paint, articulation, price point overall, and see which one comes out on top. But I have a feeling these might be pretty closely matched and might surprise a few people on which one is actually better. All right, let's take a look. All right, now taking a look at what comes in the box. All right, this one is nowhere close, unfortunately. The Hasbro version, Black Series, comes with this one single long blade, like a staff almost, staff blade. Now, I know the Figuarts version is going to have a couple different versions coming out, and I'm thinking one of them is going to be this version. But still, it's a pretty cool blade. It's got, you know, some nice little detail in here. A nice shiny kind of material on the blade makes it, you know, stand out a little bit, which is nice. So this is a really nice weapon for the Black Series version, so not bad. But taking a look at all that comes with the S.H.Figuarts version, this kind of looks puny. So to start off, it comes with the full double blade. Now these are joined together, they do not come apart. Alright, so it comes with the full double blade, which is again really nice. Some very nice sculpting details in here. Nice clean paint. Again, nice shiny kind of paint for the blade part of it. This looks really nice. But now it also comes with the two versions separate. So instead of making it to where one would peg into the other, they actually made it two separate pieces. I don't know why they did that. I think I would have preferred it better if it would have plopped in here and then maybe they would have given us some more hand options. But either way, these look really nice. So if you want to use them, you know, dual wielding, you got these. Again, same great detail in there. Really nice paint. Now it also comes with this sword, staff, something very pointy. Again, since we haven't seen a movie, we don't know exactly what this is. But looking at the other accessory, it is apparently a whip, so it would come apart. So we get both of these, which is really nice. We get the full sword version, so if you want to display them using these, or the whip version, which kind of has this nice soft, pliable kind of material to it, so you can move it around a bit, but it will kind of always pop back to that. But that's okay. That's just what you need to whip the piss out of somebody. But again, really nice detail in here. Nice little grooves going on all up and down, and that's the same for this one. It just has, you know, the red pieces in between. But this is really cool, and this is why I'm hoping these are fighting guards, because I want to see some of these weapons in action. Now, the S.H.Figuarts version also comes with 6 total hands. You get the 2 gripping hands to grip all these weapons. You get the two open hands or resting hands to either rest weapons on or slap somebody. And then you also get the two closed fist hands. I don't know if you guys can see that too well. And so 6 total hands. Again, I would have liked to have maybe seen this come apart and be that, and then they could have included some more hands. But that's okay. You still really nice accessories with the S.H.Figuarts. But we've come to expect that, so nothing different there. And unfortunately, it does blow the Black Series version away. That only comes with this one piece. Alright, now going over sculpt on these, we'll do them individually and then give a score for each individual one, and then we'll kind of do it that way, and I'll try to keep this quick because I know my reviews can sometimes go long, and now I'm doing 2 characters and you're probably like, holy crap, how long is this going to go? So let's do this quickly. The sculpt on the Figuarts version, very nice, very crisp lines, very clean. I really like, you know, this helmet kind of material here that's got these lines. I don't know how the hell they're going to see out of this, and especially this guy, because once his head's down, you can't see anything. He's going to have to walk around like that all day. But the sculpting here is really nice, especially on these arms. All these nice crisp lines in here. Now, that's not a lot to these characters. They're mostly just red, you know, some little lines and things like that in here. So not a whole lot of sculpting. So they're not too bad. They're not great just because, and that's a limitation of the character itself, not the figure. So the characters don't have a whole lot going on. So the sculpting on this, not too bad. For the S.H.Figuarts version, I will probably give it an 8. And that's just because what is here is done nicely, but there's not a lot to it. Seriously. A couple lines, you know, little things like that here and there, but not a lot. Sculpting on this is kind of flat. A few wrinkles in here, but not bad. So an 8 on the sculpting for the Figuarts. Now for the Black Series version, again, same thing. There's not a lot here for these characters. You know, you got some lines in the back and some sculpted detail kind of going on in here, and, you know, some vents for air conditioning, I guess, for there. Now, what I just noticed on mine is that this shoulder pad, I'm missing it on this side. And I can't remember if it was in the box. I don't see it laying around here anywhere. So that either means A, one of my cats has already eaten it, or B, it did not come with it, because it is not in the box. So it's missing one of these shoulder pads. I don't know which one it is, but I have a feeling that it probably just came without it. Since I can't seem to find it anywhere. But again, the sculpting, you know, for what is here is pretty nice, you know, just some little lines. Now, the difference between this one and this one is, you see, this cloth material is very smooth. On this one, there's kind of this texture to make it look leathery-ish. So the sculpting is actually a little nicer on the Black Series version. Sculpting is good here, but they added this little extra here to give it that bit of texture, which is really cool. They went that extra step. Now, you know, underneath there's not a whole lot going on, whereas he's got some kind of texture on down there on his pants. On the Figuarts version, there isn't. So sculpting for the Black Series, I'm going to have to give a 9. Again, that's because there's not a whole lot here, but what is here is done nicely. And there's actually more sculpting on here than there is on this one. So, surprise, surprise, first category or second category, accessories with the Figuarts, sculpting goes to Black Series. Alright, let's take a look at the paint. They are both red. That is it. On the Black Series version, it's got this little black dot right there. But then that's about it. You've got the red and you've got the black of the undergarments there. On the S.H.Figuarts version, you've got a little blue right there. But besides for that, that is it. Now, the only difference between these two is that the S.H.Figuarts version is a little shinier. It's a little more metal-like. And this one has more of a plasticky look to it. So, again, I don't know what they're supposed to look like. I'm pretty sure they're not supposed to look like plastic. So the paint job on these are almost identical. but the Figuarts version has more of a glossiness, more of a shine to it. You can especially see it in the head area. So for paint, we will give the Black Series version an 8 just because it's red. You know, there's not a lot to it. S.H.Figuarts version will give a 9 just because it goes a little higher on the metal factor for the actual paint look of it. But overall, they're red. It's not a whole lot of paint going on here. Nothing really to compare. Alright, going over articulation. I have a feeling, as with everybody else, I'm sure the Figuarts is going to come out on top because they are known for their articulation. But the Black Series isn't bad. Alright, so first let's take a look at the S.H.Figuarts version. Alright, so looking at the head, he can bury his chin into his chest. He can look way up. That's fantastic. He obviously can spin, and he has really good tilt when you combine both the neck and the head joint, so he can get some really good tilt. Now the arms, they can go all the way around. Now his shoulder piece is kind of on its own little hinge, so it gets up out of the way when you're lifting the arm up, but he still can't come up to a full 90. There's a little bit of upper arm rotation here, not all the way around, but a little bit. Now the shoulder joints, or the elbow joints, I'm sorry, is where a lot of people complained about the Black Series version. But in the Figuarts version, they made a cutout so that way the arms can easily move up. So he can easily come up to 90. No lower arm rotation. The wrists swivel. And they hinge, and that hinge can be, you know, either up or down or in and out. In the waist, he's got these great ball joint. So he gets really, well, not too much forward, but you can really get back and get some great side to side and obviously twist. Now there's no waist rotation, that's all in the abdomen joint, so there's no waist rotation. As you've seen, these are kind of pliable, so they will get out of the way for the leg movement, but they're not super pliable and they will kind of bounce back, so depending on the pose it might look a little weird. So the legs can come out to that far. You can look forward, or look forward, what am I talking about? You can kick forward about that far and come back not too much. There is the little upper leg rotation, followed by a single jointed knee, but that comes all the way up, which is really nice. No lower leg rotation. Ankle pivot that can come down a little bit, can come forward, a little bit of ankle pivot in there, and of course the toe joint, I think, there we go, which can come up to about there. Alright, so the articulation on the Figuarts version is pretty good. It's a little limited, especially by these, but again, that's a flaw of the character, not the figure. So for articulation for him, we will give him a 9, and that's only because there's really no waist. You only get the abdomen crunch here, but still, overall, really good articulation. On the Black Series version, he can look down pretty far. Can look up pretty far, doing pretty good so far. He does have rotation. Now he can pivot just a little, but nowhere near what the Figuarts version is. The arms do rotate all the way around, and they do come up. But as you can see, there's a hole here where that shoulder joint pegs in, so that is kind of moves out of the way, so he can actually lift his arm up a little bit higher than the Figuarts version. Now the elbows are tricky. There is no upper arm rotation, but you do get swivel. Now try to get these elbows in. You can get them like that, and you really kind of have to force it. And it comes up to almost 90. It's not too bad if you take a look at the Figuarts version. Pretty darn close. And then working it around, you know, what will happen is these little cuffs and these little pieces in here will get stuck, so you have to kind of work it in there to get the arm back straight. But no lower arm rotation. There is swivel. The wrists do swivel, and they have, I think they have a hinge in there. It's kind of hard to see with all that armor. Either way, if they do, they're not moving much just because of the way this armor is designed. Now under the waist they do have a ball joint, so he can go forward about that much. You can look back about that far. Not too bad. Does get good side to side, and he does rotate. So far he's matching up pretty well. Now onto the legs, he can split out about that far, which is pretty good. He can kick forward, actually a lot higher than the Bandai version. He can kick back just a little bit, but still further than the Bandai. He does have upper leg rotation, although it's really tight, followed by a double jointed knee, which comes up to about there. No lower leg rotation, but the ankles do go down, up, and sweet ankle pivot. All right, so the articulation on this Black Series actually pretty good, and gives the Figuarts version a good run for its money. The elbow joints really being the only main difference, and the head. You get a lot more head movement here in the Figuarts version. So whereas we gave the Figuarts a 9, we're going to give the Black Series an 8, but whew, man, it was a close 8. Going over price point, Black Series version is going to cost you 20 bucks. I think for 20 bucks, this is an amazing figure. You get some great articulation, as you've seen. You only do get the one weapon, which is its only down point. The S.H.Figuarts version will usually run anywhere between $50 to $60, so comparable? I don't know. I mean, you do get a lot more accessories with this version, but everything else, they're pretty equal on. So, man, I don't know who's the winner. I'm going to have to actually say the Black Series is the winner, just because it is cheaper. It is 20 bucks as compared to 60. You don't get as many accessories, but figure-wise, they are really, really close to each other. So you can get 3 of these for the price of 1 of these and still get a really good quality figure with the Black Series. So for price point, I'm going to have to give the Black Series a 10. I'm going to have to give the Figuarts version an 8. Alright, so overall, man, I'm digging these characters. I'm hoping in the movie they are as badass as they are on these figures, because these things are amazing. And I can't wait to start posing them around and getting them in some photos and seeing what they can really do. Black Series version, S.H.Figuarts versions, both really good figures. I'm going to have to be honest here and say I think I prefer the Black Series version. Yes, it doesn't come with as many accessories, but the sculpting is there, the paint is there, it's on par with the Figuarts version, and even the articulation. Now, this is not a rub on Bandai, obviously, because I think it's more a limitation of the character itself than it is on the figure, which is why the articulation is limited, but we're still getting the great Black Series. So, for this particular character, I think the Black Series is one. So for overall, I'm going to have to give the Figuarts version an 8, but the Black Series version a 9. And I think that puts it in the lead. So either way, you can't go wrong. These are both great figures. They're going to look fantastic on your shelf. They're going to look great in photos. So you can't go wrong. So if you can pick up the S.H.Figuarts version, go ahead. It's a good version. And with the different other versions they're going to come out with the different weapons and the different head sculpts, should look really cool. But if you can get the Black Series versions, if you find them, you're not going to go wrong. I think you're really going to enjoy those as well. So either way, can't go wrong. Both companies did a great job on these, and again, I'm hoping they are as badass in the movie as they are here. Alright, so as always, head on over to exclucollective.com to check out a full picture gallery of these two, and stay tuned for more reviews. Alright, peace.